Tonight, the internet is ablaze. Furthermore, the drama is more extensive than anything we have ever witnessed. Imagine this. A covert wedding that no one anticipated. A mother in a rage all set to demolish the walls. And a guy caught in a tempest. That has the potential to ruin everything he has created. Yes, you heard correctly. The horrific marriage scandal involving Chrissy Lampkin has come to light, and in a way that fans never could have predicted, Mama Jones has officially burst. It is being referred to by viewers as the most brutal betrayal in the history of hip-hop relationships. As Chrissy was secretly organizing her private, low-key wedding, word reached Mama Jones. She also gave a nuclear response in addition to an emotional one. We're talking about voicemails that have been leaked, screaming battles that have been captured on camera, and fans who are analyzing every video clip like detectives looking for evidence. And Jim Jones is the only one who is unable to cope with the pressure. He has reportedly been seen breaking down in cars, pacing the streets at night, and even pleading with friends for help in putting an end to the mayhem before it's too late. However, the true question is this: is Chrissy really over Jim? Or is this the final act of retaliation to permanently destroy his mother? The video is leaking, the lies are coming to light, and the betrayals are piling up, quicker than anyone can stop. Everything you believe to be true about Jim, Chrissy, and Mama Jones will be called into question by the story's conclusion, because this is just the beginning. Stay focused. No one took the rumors seriously when they initially began. Supporters dismissed it as just another sloppy rumor spread by gossip blogs looking for clicks. Then the screen grabs appeared. Although first grainy, it is enough clear to cause a stir on all social media platforms. A man who is unquestionably not Jim Jones is handstanding next to a woman wearing a white dress and sipping champagne. There was an angle. In just a few minutes, Chrissy Lampkin was identified because to the internet's lightning-fast speed and dark lighting, suddenly, the whispers turned into a conflagration. Chrissy got married in secret. Through the pandemonium of social media, Mama Jones learned the same thing the rest of us did. It wasn't a silent explosion, I tell you. There was no control over it. It was uncooked. It was blazing. It was also cruel. And Instagram lived that. Received 500,000 views in a flash. Mama Jones was displaying unbridled anger as she paced her living room. Her remarks were sharp as knives. Do you really believe you can portray my son in this way, Chrissy Lampkin? Do you really believe that my dead body will allow you to degrade this family? If that wedding is real, it won't last more than a week. Before the live even finished her trade, she was screenshotted, cut, and remixed. Already trending globally were the hashtags #MamaJones, #ChrissyWedding, and #JimJones. However, the true twist occurred a few minutes later when an accused voicemail allegedly leaked. Chrissy's phone was left with an angry message from Mama Jones. The sound was eerie. "You will not disgrace me," she yelled, her voice breaking with rage. "I brought him up better than to be made a fool, so you won't bring shame to my kid. This man, whatever he is going to learn the consequences of crossing Jones' mama." The recording went viral in a matter of hours, igniting countless discussions. Was it authentic? Did it get staged? Supporters didn't give a damn. They were captivated. Jim Jones, meanwhile, was not present. Observed, not a single indication of life, not a post, not a word. He was reportedly hiding out in a home in New Jersey, avoiding cameras at all costs, according to paparazzi. Insiders, however, hinted at a more sinister reality. One anonymous person close to Jim claimed that since the news surfaced, he had been totally devastated. "He's simply pacing. He's not eating or sleeping. Why would Chrissy do this to me? Why now?" he asks repeatedly. As Jim sank in quiet, Chrissy fueled the flames with a mysterious post. It's like he doesn't even recognize the world anymore. One Instagram picture, a set of wedding bands on silk sheets. Within hours, the post received over 2 million likes with the message, "New beginnings, old chapters closed." Fans flooded the comments section, with some praising her and others accusing her of betraying Jim. Chrissy didn't respond when a third group wanted to know the identity of the mystery groom. She didn't have to. No answer could overpower her stillness. But Mama Jones wasn't quiet. She intensified her efforts. Blood may be thicker than water, but loyalty is thicker than both. Chrissy was never loyal, she said in a venomous Facebook tirade. "My son was used by her. She believes she can get away with using this family. Not when I'm watching." Fans took a screenshot of her full post and spread it widely, transforming it into an anti-Chrissy digital manifesto. Then came the video that went viral on the internet. Grainy footage from a Miami nightclub that was shot only a week prior was published by TMZ. It depicted Jim Jones leaving the club in a fury. Chrissy, who was yelling something that was muffled by the music, was right behind him. Then, suddenly, Mama Jones showed up, pushing Chrissy away and yanking Jim back. Despite being shorter than 20 seconds, the video depicted a family on the verge of disintegration. If Jim had been aware of the wedding beforehand, the theory would have taken off like wildfire. Was the actual breaking point that fight? Twitter became a battleground. On both sides, fans formed a line. #Team Mama Jones and #Team Chrissy. Some claimed that since Jim had supported her for years without showing any commitment, Chrissy had every right to move on. Chrissy was wrong to betray a man, according to others. They had been there for her no matter what. Some people, on the other hand, were only interested in the drama and created memes, remixed the audio that had been leaked, and speculated about the identity of the enigmatic groom, including an additional layer of an unidentified source on X claimed to have receipts, according to Chaos. They shared a grainy image of a wedding invitation on Twitter, showing Chrissy's name prominently displayed beside an unknown man named Kevin. The account hinted at Chrissy has made the biggest mistake of her life, and Kevin is not who he seems. Within minutes, Kevin's name was trending, but no one knew who he really was. Some said he was a businessman from Los Angeles. Others claimed he was involved in dubious activities. The mystery just made the problem worse. Jim Jones eventually broke his quiet as the evening went on, but not with words. A video appeared of him in his car, wiping his face with his sleeve while listening to depressing music. He remained silent. He gave no explanation. He simply sat there, his face etched with sorrow. Comments were swamped by fans, with cries for him to remain strong and heartbreak emoticons. As one fan put it, "Jim, don't let her break you." Others were less understanding, telling him that he had spent years putting off getting married to Chrissy, win dumb rewards by playing dumb games. One red dot comment. When it appeared that the storm could not get any wilder, the timeline took another unexpected turn. An alleged text exchange between Chrissy and a close friend that was leaked. Chrissy apparently acknowledged in the chats, "I had to choose myself because I'm sick of waiting for Jim to pick me." Whether genuine or not, the texts blazed the internet with followers examining every word and arguing over whether or not they aligned with Chrissy's writing. "Kevin is giving me what Jim never would commit." Manor, claiming that she planned her own treachery. The internet was worn out but addicted by daybreak. Mama Jones was popular. Chrissy was popular. Jim Jones was popular. And Kevin, whatever he was, had emerged as America's most enigmatic figure. It was obvious. This wasn't your typical celebrity feud. This was a full-fledged family conflict, like gasoline on fire, seeping out into the public. As supporters believed they had seen everything, another leak threatened to utterly upend the narrative. Allegedly taken during a private meal, a voice memo suggested it's something much more sinister than treachery. However, because the information on that recording was too explosive to reveal all at once, that is where the cliffhanger occurs. It wasn't a simple release of the alleged dinner recording. It exploded. The audio was discovered after a brief rumor blog at 3 a.m. By dawn, however, it was all over the place, from shade rooms to Twitter posts with millions of views. A familiar female voice could be heard in the muffled clip after soothing background music and clinking glasses. Chrissy whispering, supposedly, "Jim and I would never get married. I needed to out-hink him. Kevin gave me respect, money, and stability. Jim made commitments to me." The table let out a gasp. "But what about Mama Jones? Do you know she'll come for you?" said another voice, which might have been Chrissy's partner. Chrissy's voice froze as ice. "Let her. She is no longer allowed to touch me. My role as the idiot in their family drama is over." Despite being only 37 seconds long, the recording changed Chrissy's reputation from victim to villain. Supporters, who had immediately flipped after defending her during the covert wedding reveal. Hashtags such as #TeamJim and #Chrissy played herself went viral. The story had changed. Then, suddenly, Mama Jones took out her phone and played a second clip, which she said was delivered to her without identifying herself. It was a broken, garbled voicemail from Jim. "I can't stand this any longer, Ma. I was embarrassed by her. You were humiliated by her. I feel as though everything is gone. I'm not even sure how to continue." The fans were appalled. Was Jim on the verge of going into depression? Was Mama Jones taking advantage of his suffering by making it public? In an attempt to make a decision, the internet ripped itself apart. Chrissy, meantime, said something. She shared a black screen with white writing on Instagram stories. The world views it as betrayal when women prioritize themselves. However, they term it love when guys waste 15 years of your life. Consider that. Some fans shared the post tens of thousands of times, supporting her message of empowerment, but some didn't believe it, accusing her of playing two guys at once and hiding behind feminism. Then the nuclear bomb appeared. Pictures of Chrissy and Kevin on a 2-month vacation in Tulum have surfaced prior to the purported wedding. The pictures featured Chrissy laughing while drinking cocktails in a swimsuit with Kevin at her side. In one picture, his hand was on her waist, and in another, he was kissing her cheek. They weren't really so low-key, despite the caption's claims that they had been for months. Twitter took off. One admirer said, "So Chrissy was cheating while Jim was still in the picture." An additional, "It turns out that Chrissy had a backup plan the entire time," which further deepened the betrayal narrative and dragged Jim's name through the mud as people accused Chrissy of emotionally manipulating him for years. He continued. The internet was rocked even more by the subsequent revelation of an alleged text chain between Jim and Kevin, in which Jim is said to have texted, "You knew she was with me," according to screenshots. "You were aware of you continued to go behind my back despite history. Do you consider yourself a man? You're a clown. She picked me." And Kevin allegedly said, "History doesn't equal future. It's not me who gave her what she deserved. It's you who wasted her time." If those texts were authentic, they demonstrated that Kevin was more than a supporting figure. He was deliberately making fun of Jim. Admirers started disparaging Kevin online right once, accusing him of being a clout chaser and an opportunist. Timelines were overflowing with memes of Kevin clutching Chrissy's hand with comments like, "Mr. Steal You fiancé." In the meanwhile, Jim, when Jones did make a public appearance, it wasn't the kind of return that fans had anticipated. He was seen stumbling out of a studio while clearly intoxicated and muttering under his breath on TMZ cameras. "I don't want to hear her name," Jim yelled in response to a paparazzo's inquiry about Chrissy. The video, which demonstrated how insane the situation had gotten, went viral right after. "Oh, she dead to me, dead." On the other hand, Chrissy intensified her story. She took a seat down for a lifestyle blog interview while sipping champagne and looking stunning in full glam. "People act like I owe Jim something," she remarked, grinning, "since I gave him 15 years. When the reporter spoke about Kevin, Chrissy's smile expanded. "Kevin loves me. Kevin sees me, Jim. When can I move on? When does my happiness matter? Jim viewed me as a stand-in. I am no longer anyone's stand-in." The interview rekindled the online debate, with half of the internet declaring Chrissy a queen for taking charge of her life. Even celebs joined in, with Cardi B tweeting, "Ladies, know your worth, but don't play with people's hearts." The other half accused her of cold-hearted betrayal. "Karma is real." 50 Cent responded with his typical trolling, sharing an image of Jim Jones in tears along with the words, "Stupid, you should have married her." The drama was now more widespread, viral, and unstoppable than before. Things became really explosive at this point though, as a leaked court record revealed that Chrissy had supposedly filed for formal separation months prior, which, if accurate, meant she had already planned her departure long before the bombshell online. Fans went crazy, accusing her of orchestrating a long-standing scam against Jim. Some conjectured that Kevin had connections, money, and possibly even dirt on Chrissy that forced her hand in marriage, while others thought she was just done waiting for Jim to commit. Mama Jones, who claimed to have obtained yet another recording, this one of Kevin himself, K, reportedly boasting to a friend, delivered the dagger just as the tempest was becoming too wild. "Chrissy is sticking with me because she's sick of Jim's drama, but if she believes I'm blind, she's mistaken. She doesn't love me. She simply knows I can be stable. No, she still has feelings for Jim." If the recording was authentic, it depicted Jim as the tragic victim in a love triangle gone tragically wrong, Chrissy as cunning, and Kevin as manipulative. Fans couldn't comprehend it quickly enough. Was she going to lose everything she believed she had gained? Was Kevin playing Chrissy the same way she played Jim? Jim Jones finally spoke as the internet erupted in rage, memes, and conjecture. Once more, this time he remarked, "I don't care," about Kevin, while crying and speaking in a broken voice on his own Instagram live. "The money doesn't matter to me. The fact that I surrendered my soul to Chrissy and she gave it to someone else is what stings. You guys have no idea what it's like to be humiliated in this way, to be laughed at by everyone for your suffering." Jim's phone abruptly died during the live stream, but the harm had already been done. We're left in shock, anger, and sorrow, but as is often the case with this story, there was another leak on the horizon that would reveal Kevin's true reasons for marrying Chrissy, and there's where the cliffhanger hit once more. The murmurs were warnings, not rumors, and they said that the truth was not just messy but criminal. Grainy screenshots of bank transfers, contracts, and an enigmatic LLC with Chrissy's name linked surfaced throughout the blogosphere before morning, revealing a frightening new leak that was more than simply dirty rumor. The subtitles shouted, "Kevin's not in love," and the Twitter threads spread like wildfire. Chrissy is the pawn in a drama he's running. The purported records show that Kevin wasn't only a rebound fiancé. According to insiders, he had been quietly investigated for fraud and money laundering, and his marriage to Chrissy was motivated more by protection than affection. He was a businessman involved in illicit dealings. Fans were shocked by the unsettling notion that Kevin needed a shield, and Chrissy's status and notoriety provided the ideal disguise. Had Chrissy switched from victim to victim once more in the short weeks? But the biggest blow came when an unknown Twitter user posted a voice memo purporting to be Kevin on a phone conversation with a friend. His voice was arrogant, cocky, and confident. "Believes she is in charge and that I adore her. It's my ticket, bro. The wedding makes me untouchable, and once the documents are locked, she won't be able to back out if she tries. However, I also have dirt on her. Jim was weak. I'm not." The internet went silent. If this recording was since Chrissy wasn't the mastermind she was being played, the narrative suddenly changed to one of sympathy, and fans who had been following her for weeks started to support her. Mama Jones pounced when hashtags like #frequency and #Kevin the Scammer became viral overnight, going live again and virtually shouting into the camera. "Did I tell you? Chrissy believed she was outwitting Jim, but she was duped, and you know what? Did I not warn her? I pleaded with her not to do this." Fans debated in the comments, with some applauding Mama Jones for being honest. "I don't feel sorry for her. If you create your bed, you lie in it." In any case, her statements were hurtful, and Chrissy heard them because a few hours later, she was photographed crying as she left a lawyer's office. Others accused her of taking pleasure in another woman's suffering, holding documents in her hands. The video quickly went viral, with a TMZ reporter yelling, "Chrissy, did Kevin really con you? Are you abandoning him?" Everything fans needed to know, Chrissy stated in quiet as she got into her car, keeping her head down and shedding tears. In the meantime, Jim Jones went back to "The truth always comes out," was the unsettling caption for a black and white Instagram photograph that showed him sitting by himself in the studio, appearing devastated. "I made an effort to keep her safe, even from herself. I am aware, however, now that the public knows." Fans poured their prayers and ideas into the comments section, with some wondering if Jim had been aware of Kevin's frauds all along and others thinking he was silently enjoying that. After Chrissy's treason failed, there was the encounter, which reportedly went violent when Jim and Kevin ran into each other outside a well-known New York lounge, according to gossip sites. Jim is said to have yelled, "You played her. You tricked me. Everyone was played by you. You were never man enough to keep up with Kevin," who apparently grinned back. The hazy but incendiary video went viral on social media like gasoline on an open flame. "Chrissy, I just did what you couldn't." Security had to intervene and pull both men away before fists were raised. In the meantime, she broke her silence in the most dramatic way possible, going live on Instagram with her voice shaking and her cheeks swollen from crying. She revealed for the first time that she had been caught off guard, and "I believed Kevin loved me. I felt like I was finally selecting myself, but now I realize I was being taken advantage of. I was foolish to disregard Mama and to turn my back on Jim." The internet exploded, and fans were driven to tears when they heard, "I let my pain make me vulnerable, and now I'm paying the price." Others dragged her again, claiming it was too Little to late, but the most startling event occurred at the end of her life. With a trembling breath, she finally showed Chrissy that she was honest and vulnerable. Murmured, "I'm sorry, Jim, if you're seeing this. I will always cherish you," she then cut off the webcast, and that one sentence made all the difference. Fans started shipping Jim, and another admirer added, "This is the real love story," after Chrissy finally acknowledged it after receiving countless requests on Twitter for them to get back together. Forget about Kevin. Always be on Team Jim. However, Jim uploaded a mysterious note to his tale instead of directly responding, saying, "Apologies don't erase betrayal." Fans questioned whether reconciliation was ever possible because of the anguish in those comments. Conceivable. Then, as if on cue, Kevin retaliated, posting a picture of himself on a yacht with champagne and the words, "Hate the game, not the player." The boldness angry fans. Within minutes, he was inundated with death threats, clown memes, and snake emojis in his comments. But Kevin didn't bat an eye. He went live to brag. "You guys are upset with me for what? Winning." Chrissy understood. She isn't an angel, and Jim isn't a saint. The outcry was swift. Within a day, Kevin's business associates reportedly withdrew from agreements. A luxury company he promoted removed his image from their ad, and fans banded together. However, behind the scenes, insiders said Chrissy had already filed for annulment, frantically attempting to break free from Kevin before it was too late, despite boycotts vowing to permanently cancel him. Rumors circulated that Kevin the anxiety was awful, like a ticking time bomb, if Chrissy left, but the last surprise nobody anticipated coming was Mama Jones herself. She refused to sign, threatening to expose even more dirt. The irony was that Mama texted Chrissy late one night, saying, "You're still family. Let's fix this before it's too late." Fans are certain that this story is far from finished and that Chrissy will crawl, since the same woman who publicly cursed her was now giving her a lifeline. Returning to Jim, will he forgive her or let the treachery to permanently define them? Will Kevin drop another bombshell out of retaliation, or will he disappear now that the world is against him? The streets are humming, the blogs are burning. And one thing is for sure, this isn't just dramatic reality TV anymore. It's a real-life struggle for survival, love, and treachery that has the whole industry is holding its breath, and the cliffhanger remains as the cameras continue to roll. Will this be Chrissy Lampiner's demise or the beginning of her redemption? Let me be very clear, this story is about the treachery, the breakdown, the secrets, and the scams that rocked Chrissy Lannon, Jim Jones, and Mama Jones to their very core. Isn't finished. The next chapter will blow everything we've seen so far out of the water if Kevin actually has more dirt locked away, if Jim chooses to clap back harder, or if Chrissy makes the unimaginable decision to burrow back into Jim's arms. As a result, you cannot afford to miss what is about to happen. Just picture waking up tomorrow to find that everyone on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter is discussing the next meltdown, the next recording, and the next leak, and you are left behind because you failed to lock in with us. This is the kind of tale that can completely change a culture, so don't let that happen. If you're not following along in real time, you're not truly participating in the conversation at the moment. Click like to demonstrate that you're along with us, leave a comment, or are you on the side of Jim, Chrissy, or Kevin flipping the script once more? Most importantly, hit the subscribe button while you have alerts enabled, so you'll be there when the next bomb drops. Like to be at front of the queue rather than last in line. Because of what's coming, stay locked, possibly darker, more untamed, and even more startling than you've ever seen not yet obtain.